Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Stephen-Claude. I'm a clinical health psychologist and traumatologist, and I'm also the managing partner at Cognitive Assurance Life Management International, that's CALM International. Wellness begins with you. Now today we'll continue the series that we were doing on stress and mental illness, and I want to teach you one final technique that you can use to mitigate stress and anxiety, and then I want to answer a question from a viewer about how to treat with younger children during this period of lockdown. All right, now what I want to teach you how to do is deep breathing exercise. Oxygen helps us to be calm, and deep breathing exercises help us to get that oxygen way down into our system, which allows us to be more calm and relaxed. Now, I know you see on TV where they suggest that if someone is having anxiety or panic, they should actually have a brown paper bag that they're breathing into very quickly. That's ridiculous. Please don't follow that advice, because when you're doing that, what you're doing is primarily you're inhaling carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide actually doesn't help you to be calm. It's oxygen that helps you to be calm. And so in deep breathing, we want to take in as much oxygen as we can down into our diaphragm. We actually call it diaphragmatic breathing, or taking a diaphragmatic breath. So when you do that, you're inhaling. It's not just your chest area that should move and your shoulders, but also your tummy should move, where your diaphragm is located. So it shows that you're actually taking that deep breath, sort of like this. Okay, now what we're going to do a deep breathing exercise where, as I count from 1 to 10, you're going to take that breath through your nostrils all the way down into your diaphragm, and you're going to take the breath at the rhythm that I'm counting at. And then you're going to hold that breath for about 3 counts, and then when I count from 10 to 0, you're going to exhale through your mouth at a quicker rate. And I'm going to demonstrate for you so you know what to do before you actually try it. Okay? Now, I'm going to use my hands to count so you can see the rate at which I'm taking that breath, the rate at which I will hold it, and then counting down from 10 to 0. Okay? So, I take my proper stance. Yes? And I'm going to inhale through my nostrils. Ready? I know I look a little bit ridiculous, but it's okay, because it actually does help you to feel relaxed. All right, so now you're going to do it. I'm going to count for you. Remember, I'm going to count from 1 to 10, and you're going to take that breath at the rhythm that I'm counting. By the time I get to 10, you should have taken and held that breath for 3 counts. As I count back from 10 to 0, you're going to exhale through your mouth, and it must make sound. We're not trying to look pretty, we're trying to be calm. You know, I've done this at times with patients, and when they're exhaling, it's like, I'm like, we're not trying to look pretty. You know, we're trying to get that breath out, but it must make sound, like, whatever. But there is therapeutic value to the sound. All right, so let's do it. Ready? Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it for 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yeah, and as you get to 0, you push that air out. And now if you do this 2 to 3 times in each sitting, you will actually feel yourself being more calm and more relaxed. And this is what we call diaphragmatic breathing, or deep breathing exercises, to help us to stay calm and relaxed during a time of stress or anxiety. Now, the question that was posed online, someone asked about actually dealing with younger children during this lockdown period, how to keep them entertained, how to give them structure. All right, now, It is important that they do have structure, but we can't just be replicating the structure that they would have otherwise in school. Because that's not going to work, because they're not at school, it doesn't feel like they're at school, and they're not going to want to engage that way. So we want to have structure that is not as long, probably about 30 minutes of doing some work, some book work, yeah? And then you have probably 10-minute intervals where they can just relax, take it easy. And you probably want to go for 30 minutes, 10 minutes interval, 30 minutes, 10-minute interval, another 30 minutes, and after the third 30-minute period, then they can have a longer break, probably for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, where they can just play, have some structured play. Because remember, play is the language of children. It's important for them to be playing, to be creative. And so you can play board games with them. You know, if you don't have board games, you can play other games. Remember some of the games that we played as children. Teach them some of these games. Have fun with them at home. You know, it is important to recognize that children will also have cabin fever, where they just have had enough of each other. And so it's important that they have the space as well. So in the morning, that hour and a half, 30-minute intervals with 10-minute breaks, and then at the end of that third one, a longer time. Then they can go into another 30-minute segment, probably 3 or 4 times, and then they do something else. Now, it is fine for them to have some screen time. I know that usually we warn against too much screen time, and we still should control that at this moment. However, it's fine for them to have some screen time now, because the poor things are bored. It is boring to just be at home and to do the same things over and over and not be able to play with their friends, especially for those children who don't have siblings around. It is really difficult for them. So it's fine to allow them some screen time, but make sure that screen time is monitored. But also it's important that you're doing things together as a family, spending more time together, solving puzzles together. It's also important that you recognize that they need space as well. So make sure that each person in the family has their own space. I think we spoke about that before, including the kids, that they have space to go and unwind, to get away from everybody else. All right, I hope these tips are useful and that you find them helpful. Give me feedback both about the deep breathing exercise as well as these tips for working with younger kids during the lockdown. And remember, wherever you are, follow the instructions of the government. Here in Malaysia, we have been extended even more with the MCO, so we're going on until the 12th of May. And I know it's frustrating for many people, but you know what, as I keep saying, it's a necessary evil. So united we stand, divided we fall. And us here at Calm International, we want to say to you, stay strong, love each other, take care of each other. Until next time, take care. And as we say in Jamaica, walk good.